Alright, so this is with the loudness turned up all the way. The treble and the bass are up the middle. I'll turn the loudness down to about 5. And I'm in the neck position. If I turn the treble all the way down, treble all the way, or the bass all the way down. Listen to this. Treble at 5. Good Lord, that'll kill you. Check this out. This is this weird bass control. It's almost a wah-wah between 3.5 and 4. Something that sounds like warmth, but then what happens after that? Now we got lots of mids. Overdrive, but there's just no low end to it. And it's like, okay, well maybe that sounds good if I turn it down a little. Well, that sounds like crap. So this will be deadly. And the tremolo sounds great. I don't have the reverb up, it's in the cabinet. By the way, this is all being recorded and played through the actual speaker in the actual cabinet, so it's not like I'm cheating and going to some place different with this audio. This is the speaker it's going to be played through. And as you can hear, there is just no low end of this thing. I mean, you get a nice overdrive, but... So, yeah, bye-bye tone stack. The neck. Bridge. Turn it up all the way. Alright, so let's play with it. Let's put everything on 5. Middle. Bridge, or neck. Took the treble all the way down. Let's take the treble and the bass all the way down. All right, let's take the... That was in the neck, bridge. Let's bring the back in the neck here. Let's bring the bass in until we get a little warmth. Starts warming up about 3. Up. We're at 7. And that's the bridge. Or, yeah. Notice how the tone doesn't really change much depending on where the gain and the loudness is, whereas before you set this up like where it sounded great when it was loud, and you turn it down and suddenly the tone just went all away. It just went away, gone. So but I can, let's put this at 8 and this at 5. 7 and 7 is 7, 7, 7. Everything up all the way. Oh, tremolo. And I don't have the reverb tank set up at the moment, but trust me, the reverb sounds great. So one last look, what changes did I make? Well, one of the things that I had to do, I actually put it in the cabinet and listened to it that way, and it got warmer in the cabinet, and one of the things I immediately found out was that the extra cap that I had put in for the reverb was too much. Once the reverb tank was back in the tank and close to the speaker again, it was just picking up too many vibrations directly off the speaker cabinet, and it was causing a feedback and a bit of a howl. So I took that extra gain stage out again. So it's back to the way it was. Then I had a sort of epiphany. With all the mid scooping I was doing on this amp, it made me wonder, would Gibson want their amps to sound great with Fender guitars? Probably not. They want them to sound good with Gibson guitars. So that's why I decided to push those mids a little bit more, scoop it less, which is more along the original idea I had for this amp anyway. So that's why I decided to take out this 430 picofarad bypass cap along this 100k ohm resistor and put in this 0.0015. This reaches down into about the 2k range, so it pushed those mid-range a bit more. And I also decided to not scoop it as much, so I took out that 5.6k resistor and put in an 8.2. The mid scoop is still there, it's just not as pronounced, and I have quite a bit more drive than it had before. And then the whole tone stack wiring I had with these caps hanging off the pots and connected to the single wire was just bothering me as being a little bit on the flimsy side. So I went and added this tag strip, so now everything is mounted securely. One of the features that I added to this was on the on switch. The first position would be a mute. And I did that by taking the grid going to the phase inverter stage to ground. However, when I did that, because the switch is physically located on the power switch and that close to the 120 volt AC, it was adding a buzz into the grid. So unfortunately, I had to take that out, which is a real bummer because that was a pretty cool feature. But then there's also this. I decided to put the reverb back the way Gibson originally had it in this amp and feed it before the tone stack. Since I added the mids back into the tone stack, adding a raw signal into the reverb and having those mids present drives the reverb more, and it also doesn't sound quite so odd anymore. So that's what this is. This is a coupling cap right off of the output tube. And then I played with the value to feed the reverb down from a 1 meg to a 560k. So I got a more drive, the reverb sounds fuller, and this thing is sounding really good.